Hi, this is Simon, and welcome to a new music lesson. In the last episode, we learned how to represent the duration of the notes. We learned that in music, the fundamental unit of time is the beat, and that there are symbols to indicate the durations of 1, 2, 3, and 4 beats. We practiced transcribing both the pitch and the duration of the notes, with the help of the metronome to count the beats. Today, we will talk about the rhythm and time signature. In the last lesson, you learned that in order to recognize the duration of the notes, all you have to do is feel the beat and count. However, even if tunes are simple, counting and remembering the duration of all the notes can become difficult. Take this piece, for example. There are 8 notes and 16 beats in total, but counting all the beats is not that easy, and the music doesn't suggest how to count or how to organize the beats more effectively. Indeed, counting from 1 to 16 is not a very good idea, because we can lose the count pretty quickly and it would be impossible to do so in a long piece of music. In fact, even if we are familiar with the beat, we are still missing something. We are missing the feeling of the rhythm of the music, which is different from the feeling of the beat, even if they are closely related. Normally, in a piece of music, some beats are more important than the others, and they occur at periodic intervals, every 3 or 4 beats, for example. To understand this new concept, listen to this pattern played by the drums. First, we need to identify the beat, and this is the most reasonable choice. You might have noticed that this pattern repeats every 4 beats, and the first one seems to be more important than the other 3. With this new information, we can now count the beats much better. We have 3 elements to consider: the beat, of course, the period, and which beat is more important than the others, to which we assign the number 1. This is now how we should count the beats and think about the music. The same thing will happen if we listen to a piece of music with no drums or percussions that clearly dictate the rhythm. Listen to this theme by Beethoven. The period seems to be 4, and these sound like the most important beats. A period of 3 looks wrong. And the choice of other beats as the most important beat don't sound quite right either. Now, how do we represent this information using music notation? Have a look at the score. In Beethoven's music, we said that the period is 4 beats, and we can separate each group of 4 beats with vertical lines like this. This also makes the music much easier to read. We can immediately see that there are 4 groups of 4 beats each, and these are the most important beats of every group, beat 1. In music, we call these groups bars, so this piece consists of 4 bars of 4 beats each. We write how many beats there are in every bar immediately after the treble clef, like this. To have a complete and valid music score, we need a little bit more than this. First, a simple tweak. To indicate that the music is finished, instead of a vertical line at the end, we use this special symbol. The last thing that is missing is indicating what a beat is. Hold on, so far I have been saying that this is 1 beat, right? Well, yes and no. Let me explain. What these symbols really indicate is just a set of durations. When I said that this symbol indicates a duration of 4 beats, now think about it as just a duration of 4. So this symbol indicates a duration of 2 and this a duration of 1. Now things will become a little bit more complicated, but for a good reason. In music, it is more convenient to associate with the longest duration, this one, a value of 1. So this is no longer 4 but 1. This is no longer 2 but 1/2, and this is 1/4. If we go back to Beethoven's music, we said that every bar contains 4 beats, but we also need to indicate what a beat is. If we take a duration of 1/4 as our beat, as we have done since the last lesson, we indicate how many beats there are in every bar and what is a beat with a fraction, like this. In music, this is called time signature. This time signature indicates that every bar contains 4 beats and 1 beat corresponds to a duration of 1/4, which is this one. Now, the fraction 4/4 is mathematically equivalent to 1 or 1/2. So, why 4/4 and not 1/2 or 5/5? Well, even if they are equivalent, in music 1/2 means a different thing from 4/4. It means that every bar contains only 1 beat, and this is 1 beat. The way we write the music doesn't change, but we now need to interpret the beat and the rhythm like this. This works, but it's not the best choice. It is indeed more natural to have shorter beats and to count up to 4, instead of count just up to 1 and interpret all of these as subdivisions of the beat. Another possible choice which makes more sense than 1/2 is 2/2. Every bar has only 2 beats, and this is 1 beat. Observe again that the way we write the music doesn't change at all. We still have 4 bars and all the values are as before, but now we need to think about the rhythm like this. Observe that here a duration of 1/4 corresponds to half a beat, not to a beat. We can use the mathematical equivalence of the fractions to check that every bar contains the right values. The rule is the following. The sum of the values of all the notes in every bar must be equivalent to the value indicated by the time signature. Look at these examples. In this one, the time signature is 4/4. Look at bar 3. It contains a 3/4 note and a 1/4 note. The sum is indeed 4/4, or 1/2 if you prefer. Now look at the last bar. It contains a single note of duration 1, which is equivalent to 4/4. In this example, the time signature is 3/4. Double check that the sum of all the values in every bar is indeed 3/4. In the third example, the time signature is 6/4. Look at bar 2. 3/4 plus 2/4 plus 1/4 is equal to 6/4. Very good. The last tune is in 3/2. Every bar contains 3 beats and this is 1 beat. Look again at the third and fourth example. When we calculate the sum of all the values, we can certainly consider 3/2 and 6/4 to be equivalent. But the two time signatures are quite different. In the third example, there are 6 beats in every bar, and 1 beat corresponds to a duration of 1/4. The music goes like this. But in the last example, there are only 3 beats per bar, and the duration of 1 beat is 1/2. The music goes like this. Observe that here a duration of 1/4 corresponds to half a beat. Listen again to the last bar. All these maths can be confusing at the beginning. The very important thing to remember is that there is a difference between the rhythm of the music, identified by the time signature, and the beat. From now on, when we listen to a piece of music, we need to pay attention to both the beat and the rhythm. To simplify, at the beginning we will always consider one beat to be equivalent to 1/4, and we will use only two time signatures, 3/4 and 4/4. Now listen to these pieces. Try to identify the time signatures and the number of bars. Each tune is repeated twice. Now that we know what the time signature is, identify the duration of the notes becomes an easier task. Let me show you what the strategy should be. First, we listen to the music and we identify the beat and the time signature. Okay, the beat could be this one. And a choice of 4 beats per bar is a good one. Now, as the music plays, I count in my head from 1 to 4 and I try to visualize the bars and the value of the notes. This is indeed much better than thinking the music as just a sequence of notes and beats, without having a clue about the rhythm of the music. Also, the music is structured in a way that beat 1 of every bar is easy to recognize, and identifying rhythmic patterns can help a lot. Now it's your turn. Try to figure out the time signature of the pieces and the duration of every note. With the knowledge of rhythm and time signature, this exercise must now be much easier compared to what you did in the previous lesson. Today we talk about rhythm and time signature. We learned that in music we organize the beats in groups of the same number of beats, and we call these groups bars. We learned that the time signature contains the information about the rhythm of the music. The time signature indicates, in the form of a fraction, how many beats there are in every bar and how long a beat is. We practiced recognizing the time signature of simple pieces and figuring out the duration of all the notes as well. And this is all for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson and see you next time.